She's my future
Mother, yeah, future
in-law.
Future in-law.
Is that, are we in-laws or outlaws?
Not yet.
I think we're probably more outlaws.
I really think we're the outlaws.
All right, so what is your favorite thing about your future outlaw?
Yeah, I think we're the outlaws.
She can cook.
I think we're the
She
outlaws.
can. So how do you know the bride? That's the question. Yeah.
Well, gee.
Well,
Did you find her in cabbage?
Let me think about that.
Horse pasture. In the barn.
Now, I have the privilege of being her mother. I am blessed.
What are you looking forward to most tomorrow?
What am I looking forward most tomorrow?
Yeah, what if you could pick one moment that you're really looking forward to, what would it be?
Well, it's definitely not my speech
Okay.
because I hate talking in front of people. I hate talking in front of this camera. I'll see you in the morning.
Let me know if you need anything.
Okay.
Bye. Bye, Kira.
I guess just seeing her walk down that aisle,
Just to see her walk down the aisle.
knowing that she has found her soulmate. That's what I look forward to.
The first one that she's ever came back and said, this feels right.
No, my favorite thing about Jason is
Cooking.
how much he loves my daughter
Cooking.
and puts that
Cooking.
smile on her face.
Cooking.
Did you like him right away?
Yeah. I mean, I did. It's just you get that kind of a feeling, yeah. And I look more at how does she respond when they're together. That's when I see that she's happy, then of course I'm happy.
When did you first get to meet Jason? How was Jason introduced to you?
Oh God, I gotta remember that. No, I think that's really when we were invited over there is really when we found out about Jason and that she was serious about him. So.
When she introduced me to him, she brought him to the house and said, Dad, this is Jason. Jason, this is Dad.
No, we were invited over to the house. I think that's the first time that we met him was when she invited us over to his house.
Over to his house?
Yeah, for a barbecue.
Did you know that he was going to propose before he did?
Yes,
Tell the story.
that I did.
did Teresa know?
No, Teresa had no idea. No idea whatsoever. He asked for her hand in marriage. And we planned it for Thanksgiving.
Oh, cool.
Because his mom and stepdad were going to be here. So we had it all planned out for Thanksgiving. And Teresa had no idea. Yeah, she was totally surprised. I have a video somewhere of it. I do.
I told them that everybody, you hear that phrase that marriage is 50-50? You know, it's not. You both have to give 100%. And sometimes you have to give 110%, 120%, because your partner can only give 80% because of something going on with them. So you have to pick up the slack. You know, and that's the way it is. And it's not going to be all rainbows and roses or whatever you want to call it. There's going to be days it sucks. But you just have to push through.
Never go to bed angry. And always communicate.
What's that?
Communication is the key to any good relationship.
Right. Yeah.
That is, and love with all your heart, which I already know that they both do.
What is your advice to Jason?
If you run, I will find you.
Run?
There's still time, not much, but there's.
Do I have any words of advice?
Yes.
She's a grown adult. She can do whatever she's like. And you know what my other words of advice are? That's her mom and daddy got to deal with it, not me.
Okay, now in all your 11 years, what advice would you give to those two?
If you have fights, work it out together. Understand each other's story. Help each other through the hard times. When they have the baby,
Make it
it's
do
gonna be
4-H?
hard. Make it easy for each other. It's gonna be hard, but they're gonna get through it. They're strong.
You can come babysit? No.
I live in Louisiana.
Watching him try to put the sink together in the bath. And sending me pictures and Facebook messages trying to.
Tell me more.
I gotta hear that.
He's like yelling, it doesn't fit. And I was like, curl it around and slide it up on the bike. And it'll fit just fine.
That could be marital advice right there. Bathroom
Like
sinks.
inside the house?
Yes.
Nah, I fixed it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a drip or two there, here and there, but
I think he's a great guy, great gentleman, loves her to death, gives her everything that she wants. Can't ask for a better future husband, for sure.
Him calling me, you know, while I'm fishing, and he's on the side of the road because he put diesel in his motorcycle. You know, there's a whole bunch of those.
The dude doesn't know how to handle gas very well.
He didn't then. He didn't know how to crank the lawnmower either. So he's came a long ways.
We also hear that you have trouble knowing what kind of gas to put in vehicles.
that was a long time ago.
Okay, you do know horses don't need gas, right? They get hay.
Right now, hay's more expensive than gas.
That is true. Be cheaper.
$29 a bale.
Do you like Miss Teresa? What's your favorite thing about her?
That she's strong and tough and she can do things on her own.
box.
Do you think it drives your Jason nuts that she can do all that stuff? Put him to
I
shame?
don't know. I think she can do more than he did with the horses
Oh, yeah?
and all the animals. I think she's more of an animal person than him.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I remember when Teresa, they were loading hay on top of the trailer not too long ago with the tractor. That was amusing. There was like 3 of them on top of the trailer, all trying to give Teresa directions while she's driving the tractor. And
You don't want to know.
not for public consumption.
It involves a crawfish. That's all I'm gonna say.
Jason brought her down to Louisiana.
Yeah.
Did he like bring her like wrapped in duct tape in a bag by
No,
chance?
actually, we surprised Mom, but they already knew about her. I think y'all had already met her, huh? They met her for Thanksgiving. We met her when she came. They flew in to surprise his mom.
We come up for Thanksgiving.
Were you part of the Crawdad story?
Yes.
Huh?
We were there.
You cooked it?
I wrote down.
Yeah, I mean, it's like called copy.
Google.
Copy,
I wrote
paste.
down on Google.
Crash
Control
study
V.
tonight.
Online. I messaged her.
Why? Why did you pick her of
She
all?
was hot.
She was hot.
Pretty much asked her how long she's been in horses, blah, 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 the usual, you know, chit chat, and then we had good conversation for like 2 or 3 days, and then she ghosted me, and then I, you know, was on Tinder, blah, blah, blah. And then 3 days later,
What were
she
you
hit.
doing on Tinder?
Oh, of course. Yeah, and then 3 days later, she messaged me and was just like, "Hey," and I was like, "Oh, hey," and then, you know.
No, I don't remember. I don't actually really remember. I remember like bits and pieces. So I remember him asking for my phone number because he was like tired of talking on Plenty of Fish, and I was like hemming and hawing on if I actually wanted to give this dude my phone number. And then I was like, kind of like YOLO, and so I like gave him my phone number, and then he texted me, and then we started texting. I felt he was a little cocky. Like he was like out for it, he was gonna get it, and I was kind of like, I don't know about this dude. And like now knowing what he was like before, because he was a little player before, like I totally can see where that like macho man kind of came in. So yeah,
She tamed him.
Gotta play a part on the online thing.
yes, and so I didn't know whether or not
Wait
I
a
really
minute.
wanted to. I didn't know if I really wanted to like continue talking to this guy because I was like, you don't sound like you're serious.
Yeah. How did you guys first like meet in person?
She came over to drink sangria and play beer pong.
You remember what she was wearing?
Her PBR jacket and a cap, and then the next date we had, I think, Mexican food like a couple days later, and I don't think she ever left after that.
Really? She just kind of like started hanging at your house.
She just brought some clothes over and she never left.
All right, so
And he goes, he could tell Spencer, he goes, hey, that barrel racer finally texted me back. And I was like, oh, so that's how you refer to me, as that barrel racer. So, yeah. And he was like, oh. So, and then we kind of just started chit-chatting again, and then he invited me over, and he made me sangria the first time I came over. And it was actually really funny because I wasn't going to stay the night, and I wasn't going to really drink. And they were playing beer pong. And this poor man, I made this, so we had this rule back in college and stuff that if you lost, you had a shotgun of beer. So we made that a rule then, where I wasn't drinking. And so I don't, and Allie can attest to this, I don't do beer pong well if I'm not drinking. Like, I have to be, like, slightly tipsy, because I overthink like throwing the ball. And when I'm tipsy, I don't overthink anything, and I'm like super good at beer pong. So we lost 3 times, and this man had a shotgun 3 beers because I wasn't. So he was feeling it by the time I left. And I was like, man, like if he wasn't serious about something, then I don't know, because what dude would actually shotgun 3 beers for you the first time you've ever met him? So. Oh, I was wearing jeans, my boots, I actually still have the boots, and my BBR jacket, because I had literally just gotten back from the vet. And I had Apollo with me. I just unhooked the horse trailer, and I was texting him, and I go, well, how far away are you? And so he sent me his address, and I go, well, you're 3 minutes up the road. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I really don't want to go home and change. I was like, and I have my dog with me. And he goes, oh, come as you are. We don't care. Like, we don't judge. He goes, we love animals. And I was like, okay. So here I am literally rolling up like full barrel racer get up. Like BBR jacket, jeans, boots, dirty, dog.
What did Paula think of him?
He loved him. He instantly, right off the bat, was like super friendly to everybody.
So you walked into his man cave essentially. By
Yeah,
yourself.
so we did like a bonfire, and they were playing beer pong, and the neighbors down the road, Caleb and his wife actually came over, which we ended up becoming really good friends with. And then Spencer and his girlfriend, and Tom, and I think there was one other guy. No, I think that was it. It was just Tom, and then some of his other Navy guys came over, and we all just hung out and played beer pong, and I think I left at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and he kissed me. So it was actually that night we were standing by my truck, and I was like, gonna do anything? And then it might have been a little mutual, but I feel like it was like more him, because I always like wait.
Because I knew pretty much whenever I realized that I could tell her anything and she still liked me, then
3rd date, 4th date?
Yeah, it's probably about the 4th date.
4th date?
Yeah, something like that. Well, I also went out to sea for 106 days, and she was still there when I got back, so that was a good indicator.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I told my cob, I was like, he was like, you still with that girl, that horse girl? I said, yeah, she stuck around. He's like, you better wife her up quick then.
The moment I knew was, so I'm a very big person that you have to captivate me, like, mentally. Like, you have to be able to, like, talk to me, have conversation, whatnot. I wiped cookie crumbs off of his face, and, like, I just touched him. That's the first time I genuinely touched him. And it was, like, weird. It was, like, it was just weird. Like, it was the weirdest thing. But after that, that's when I was like, man, I think I could be with this guy for the rest of my life. And that was the first day I met him. And I've never, I didn't believe in that. We would spend a lot of time together. I mean, I worked all day. He worked all day. Usually I would go back over to his house. And there was, like, days where I was, like, staying the night, like, 4 days in a row. And we're like, okay, we can't do this. Like, I need to go home. We need to have some type of part.
Pretty much moved in.
Yeah.
On accident.
Yeah, on accident. And we're like, this, like, we shouldn't be doing, like, this is not, like, we shouldn't be, like, we knew we shouldn't have been moving that fast, but we couldn't help it.
It just felt right.
Yeah, it just was right. Like, it just worked. We just worked. So I think we agreed after his deployment, if, like, everything was still fine, then I would actually move into that house. And so I moved in, and then we went through winter, and then that following spring, we actually started looking at buying a house with property. And then in May, we moved into the house. So May of 2021, we moved into this house.
Before. What are your thoughts on horses now?
Still hate him.
Be careful.
However, Jason is her favorite.
Oh, really?
Oh, she loves Jason. That's the only person that I truly feel she rarely ever pins her ears at. Like, even when he talks to her, comes up and pets her or whatnot, she's always very wanting to, like, she's all about Jason. I make jokes that she tolerates me, but she loves him.
No, I'm not scared. I rode when I was younger, but it was more of the builder. I think it was the second underway she stuck around for. I was like, I better keep this one. So went and got the ring and everything else, and waited till they came up here and waited till Thanksgiving to do it.
So did you like stick the ring in the turkey, or how'd you do it?
No, it was in my pocket, and then I made a toast about family and friends, and then pretty much.
I'll let you, babe.
Well, as we know, 2020 hasn't been the best year for everyone, but, you know, some things
like making new families, and meeting Teresa has been probably one of the best things in my life. And I'm happy that we all get to enjoy Thanksgiving this year. And there's only one thing I can think of that would make it slightly better. And that is if you would like to spend the rest of your life. Okay. If you'll say yes, you know.
Yes! There's kids in here, so I don't want to say that, but yes. Yes.
I should go on. Should. So.
I love you. No.
Nope, this proves it.
Teresa, say hi to Aunt Doris. Hi, Aunt Doris! I'm engaged! How can I eat it?
You know how hard this was to hide it the entire time?
I am going to make a toast to my future son-in-law. Thank you. We feel very blessed that you came into our daughter's life and have brought her so much happiness. Thank you to Clarice and Ken for raising such a fine young man. We could not ask for better. And thank you for the rest of our family and friends that could be here for this really special occasion. Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay, I'll make one. You don't know how long we've waited. You have no idea. Mom, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, you kind of need to get moving before I die. So I'm not gonna live forever. He said, well, I still have my brother. That's like that doesn't count.
Like, doesn't smell like apple cider.
Okay. Then we finally found someone.
His mom was coming up his mom and Ken came up for Thanksgiving, and that's when he proposed, was when all of our entire family was together for Thanksgiving.
Did you know it was coming?
I had an intuition that it might have been, just because he started acting really weird. And then my mom actually completely gave it away.
Teresa had no idea.
Because she had him sit at the head of the table.
Yeah, going, I've never had to sit there before.
No, my dad always sits at the head of the table. Always. And I was like, all right, it's going down.
The only thing that could make it better was, and then I pulled out the ring, and then it was like, if you'll spend the rest of your life with me, and then blah blah, and she cried and all that stuff. That was it. That was it. Ever since then, we need to start looking for horse property. I was like, okay.
You just said okay, no. Got it. Have you watched the race before? Yeah, what do you think about it?
I think she's awesome. I just hate how, 100th of a second decides whether you win or lose.
She's very talented.
Yeah, she's very, very talented.
Who wears the pants in the family?
Oh, I definitely do. I let her get away with some stuff. It's okay. But I definitely do.
He ain't like his older brother.
So he's a very, I would say, like, stoic guy. He doesn't show emotion very often. But he'll just do these random moments where he'll just pull me in and he'll just kiss my forehead. And that's probably one of my favorite things about him, is he just will randomly show me that emotion. And like,
His nose
yeah,
comes up
and
usually like the sweetest.
Yep, and it's just super random, and he usually does it at least once or twice a day, but it will be completely random. Like, he'll just get home from work and he'll do it, or I'll have been riding outside with the horses and I'll just have stepped off a horse and he'll just pull me in and that's where like I feel like our souls kind of connect, and that's where sometimes I feel the closest to him, because it's without even words, it's without even saying, I know that man loves me. So I have dreamed of walking down the aisle to I Get to Love You by Ruel since I met Jason. Since I heard that song and since I met Jason, that's the song I've been dreaming of walking down the aisle to, and him seeing me in this dress that, like, it still to this day gives me goosebumps. Like, the second I put it on, I started crying. everyone else started crying. Like, we all knew that was the dress. And then probably saying my vows to him, because I like worked really hard on it. And I told him he better cry, like even one tear, because if he doesn't, then we're turning around and starting all over again. It's a big surprise because the only people that actually have seen the dress is all the girls in that room. No one else has seen it.